Hello friends, and welcome to our second Doodle Duel. Last time we had to sketch out the prompt poison, and that was a lot of fun. According to our scoring categories, the owl ended up taking the win too. Today's Doodle Duel will be just a bit different than last time. This time around we'll be using a graphite pencil, just like last time, but also colored pencils as well. We're going to mix in some color this time. It may take a bit longer to draw, so we'll allocate 1.5 hours to draw and color, rather than just the single hour we had last time around. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the prompt. And here we are, picking another prompt for our now second Doodle Duel. Very exciting. Our last prompt was poison. It was, I think, 128. We had 186 originally. Now we have still 186 because we added candle over here at the bottom. And the candle is inspired by the owl's candle in our first Doodle Duel. So that is now a prompt. But now it's time to see what our new prompt will be for our second Doodle Duel. Owl, would you like to take a guess on what prompt is going to be selected?
Storm.
Storm? Interesting. What number is that? I think that's up here. 48, I believe. Yep, there it is, Storm. I think I'm going to go for Moon. I have a few ideas for Moon already, so that would be very convenient for me. But we'll see what we get. So I'm going to guess Moon. That's going to be my guess, and I think we're going to do that. We're going to guess what our prompt is going to be. Here we go. Compass.
No.
Compass. Okay. Interesting. Do you have an idea what you want to draw? Don't say what your idea is, but you completely get caught off guard.
There is no idea.
There is no idea?
There is none.
Well, you'll have some time to meditate, think about it, get what you want. I already have an idea. It only took a few seconds for it to click. I just got to figure out how I'm going to go about drawing it and presenting that on the page. So let's get started.
Doodle duels.
And here I go, starting my sketch. Trying to draw compass. This beginning was so tricky for me. I could not get... If it's not clear already, I'm trying to draw ahead, and I had the most difficult time getting it the way I wanted to. I was kind of set on a certain composition. I wanted the upper third, I wanted the head to be at the upper third of the page and the lefternmost third of the page. And I wanted the little circle that you see at the bottom right there to be in the rightmost third and bottommost third, if that makes sense.
That's a lot of thirds.
I'm dividing the page into thirds. At least I'm eyeballing it. I think at this point, I'm like, that's good enough. Start dividing the head into different features. Although, it was a struggle. I think this clip is sped up 13 times fast. So every second of this time lapse is 13 real-time drawing seconds. That means every minute of this is 13 minutes worth of drawing. So I don't know how much time's passed already, but already too much to be this far. I'm not very far.
And all we have is a head.
Not even a full head. Start drawing the hair. This part, I'm so bad at drawing hair. So I actually wasn't, that's why I was freaking out. Or I was quote unquote freaking out. I was sweating now. I was like, I'm running out of time. The hardest part is the hair, and I didn't even start the hair. I think it went okay. I didn't spend as much time as I normally would on hair, but ended up working out pretty well.
It looks a little bit like a robot.
Yeah, without more detail to the eyes, it does look very sterile. lack of detail.
Ah,
Like robotic.
this bothers me with the wrist. As you know, I like to mimic hand motions.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would hurt.
Yeah, it was an accident. The one portion of her wrist, it was actually, I think, I messed up somewhere, and I'm like, screw it, I'll leave it. And I'm like, I didn't. Once I screwed up with the head, I didn't pay too much attention to many of the other details. Simply because I knew I was gonna have a time crunch at the end, and I did have a time crunch. Gotta get the bracelets. At this point, you might know what I'm drawing. I mean, you know, Al.
I do know.
But for anyone watching, you might know what this is, or this character is from. It is a character from a show. Actually, the music might actually get you, but start adding some detail.
See, I know the show, but I forgot that was supposed to be a compass.
Yeah, it's not called a compass, but yes. I'll try to abstain from naming the show, and, you know, for spoilers' sake, just try to stay away from it, but
it does lead the way.
it does lead the way. It does act as a compass, effectively, which is why I drew it, or wanted to draw this character with this kind of scene. However, I did not pull it off the way I intended. I think this is, again, color's not my strong suit, so, and orange is very,
Orange?
well, orange is important to the character.
Oh.
Like identifying the character, the hair color is important. But it's the first time I ever tried to like get that change in color due to like the highlights in the hair, due to the lighting. I think I should address the smile too, because the smile was an accident. Well, an accident's not the right word. It was intended to be something different. But then I was using a reference for this drawing, and I didn't want to copy the reference exactly. So I tried to, change certain features. And the smile, I realized the way I drew it was exactly how the reference had it. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to copy it. I'll just leave it as is. So I just kind of like left the smile, and it kind of looks a little funky.
And now we have a new Whoville citizen.
Dr. Seuss-esque. I do get that vibe. What I do like about using the color pencils is I get to use the black color pencil to get these like highlights of like the black. You get deeper blacks, essentially, versus graphite. I think at this point in time too, I was trying to draw more like human anatomy, although the show doesn't like accurately, words are hard, represent human anatomy, but it's all there. But I've been practicing mostly the male figure, so like when it comes to some distinct female figures, there's a clear lack of experience in drawing. So it's not perfect. The lines are weird in many cases. I think the shoulder, the arm's a little wacky.
But you have a solid ear.
My ear is on point. Look at that ear. The ear is actually great. I don't know how I nailed the ear so well. The eyes aren't terrible. It's just the line's a little funky. A little poorly done, in my opinion, but 10 minutes.
This was also your first time using color.
I mean, it's not the first time I've ever used color before, but yes, I since I've actively started practicing and like trying to draw like as a hobby, this is the first time I'm using color because I've just always used pencil, graphite pencil.
Very good.
Any comments?
I'd like to give you a dollar amount.
Oh, what's the dollar amount you would give me for this masterpiece?
You get a full meal, $15.
$15? Pretty good, pretty good. Alrighty, so I think, unless you have anything else, we are going to move on to your drawing. Anything?
No?
Alrighty, off to the owl's drawing. And here we go, into the owl's drawing. Looks like you're going with a portrait configuration here. Portrait layout.
I want something new this time.
You want something different? That's fair. And I see, looks like you split everything up into 4 quadrants.
You went with thirds, I went with fourths.
Well, that's not exactly what I meant by thirds. It's more like a line, so you went with like half. And I went with thirds, which means in the way you're interpreting it, I went with 9s. So I did a 3x3. You did a 2x2.
This is art, not math.
I'm just saying, from a composition perspective.
There was a plan here. There is a plan.
I hope so.
In my head there was.
Oh, how do you feel like you started off?
Strong, but not strong enough.
I kind of see the gist you're going for. It looks like very naturey and adventurous with, looks like you're building it on a compass, maybe? I see 2 arrows.
That was the plan. Those arrows are going to come in handy because I forgot what I was doing halfway through. I was invested in my trees.
Yeah, your trees. Yeah, your trees are good. They're okay. That one...
We don't talk about him. There's always the one we
I
don't
didn't
talk
point him
about.
out yet.
We all know.
Oh.
We all know.
It's... For anyone who doesn't know, I'm talking about from the bottom, the 4th tree. From the top, the 3rd one. It's like the middle, really. It's kind of wacky to me. It looks a little wacky.
A little wonky.
I think when you add color, it'll look a little more wacky, so stay tuned.
For next week's episode of tree coloring.
I like the scenery focus. I like how looks like I don't know, it's kind of blends into each other a little bit, right?
That was the goal.
I like that. That's cool.
A little bit of everything into everything. Oh no, I started with him first.
Oh no. Look, you made it thicker. Why'd you make the stump so thick?
Because if you see, or if you paid attention, I drew a little circle. In my head, a little squirrel lived in there.
Okay, like a hole?
Yeah.
Don't squirrels live in like nests? They don't live in like trunks, do they? Maybe they do. I don't know.
Not a squirrel expert.
I think what makes it weird is that the leaves at the bottom are curling upwards. When like a tree like that, like a evergreen or whatever, they like your other trees, they fold down due to gravity.
This tree doesn't listen to gravity, apparently.
Yeah, it kind of just deviated from your other ones, but that's okay. Points deducted. No.
He's trying his best. You know, I don't like my tent now that I look at it.
Well, you haven't really colored it yet. I mean, it looks fine.
I'm getting book vibes.
It does kind of look like a book. Like the way you try drawing the other book.
Mm-hmm.
In Doodle Duel #1. Got a nice, what I assume to be a stream, creek, a river. What would you call it?
I was going for a river. Like the river bank.
Okay.
That's what I got going.
Is this set anywhere in particular, or is this just like whatever?
This is just a little mountain point of view. Clouds and a bird and trees.
Can't really see the bird. It doesn't really show up that clearly. But I think once you color everything in, it'll appear, it'll pop off the page. Oh, I do like the purple. I do like the purple. And blue, I guess.
I think mountains are purple.
And pink. What do you mean you think mountains are purple? Mountains are not purple. They're earth colored, so like...
No, every mountain
not
I've
all-
seen, picture-wise, cartoon-wise.
Maybe like at a certain time of day or night, or like, you know, the twilight or early morning hours to kind of get that reflection of the sky, which might be like a pinkish hue, orangey hue.
You know, that might have been what I was thinking.
But I do like it. It gives off like a shadow kind of look to it. I like it. I think it's done well. I think your river oddly cuts into them, like it's going up the mountain somehow. I mean, I guess gravity, but like, you see what I'm saying? It just kind of like goes into the mountain. Whether you're drawing like an abstract piece here, not like abstract, but like it's not built the same perspective as everything else is. So I want to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
I ran out of time, but it was supposed to go more into that first tree quadrant where all the trees are. Kind of go into that.
Oh, I see.
That's why it kind of just stops. Wasn't used to coloring with a time constraint.
That is true, because you like to color, but you usually do it to relax and probably take your time. This was probably...
Very stressful.
Oh, very stressful.
You can see me tap my fingers like, what do I do?
Hopefully we improve and speed up and quality goes up. Oh, there's your bird. There's your bird. Goose, maybe.
Gives me goose vibes.
Now your cloud, I'm not a fan of your clouds. Probably nearing the end here, but I'm not, I like your sun. I don't like your clouds.
I don't like my sun.
Actually, your sun could be better. Now I think about it. It kind of cuts off at the top left of it, or the left of it. If it just continued, or maybe it does, I don't know. Okay, you're labeling the compass. I like the gold look of it, that's very nice. But the sun, if it just continued around the edge of the cloud, I think it would be nice. Doesn't need to continue underneath the cloud, but I think to the edge of the cloud.
I do see what you mean. It's supposed to be partly cloudy.
I see. Your clouds. I was talking about your clouds. They look like rocks to me. I like the coloring. I looked at it very closely in person and with the high resolution image. It looks very good color-wise. You like mixed in blue and grays, and it was very, very nice. I think clouds, at least the clouds you're trying to put on the page, are meant to look fluffier and not so solid.
I thought they were fluffy. Look at that little curve.
I'm not getting fluffy vibes. They look like rocks with a little bit of water on,
We'll get hail this day, not rain.
with a glowing orange.
I guess.
But it's the sun, and those are clouds. I like your letters: north, east, west, and south, and your little weeds.
It's supposed to be little grass tufts.
Tufts, yeah, that's a better word. I like them.
Now
I think it fills the space there. I think you did a very good job filling the page this time.
Do you see there's a day and night going on?
I do see that.
That's because I was lost in the compass. Couldn't make it back to my tent.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but I like it, if that helps. I wish the night portion went to the edge of the compass. See, the compass line is gold next to the W.
Mm-hmm.
The shaded night portion doesn't like meet the edge of the line, while the day portion does.
Again, that was a last minute decision because I was short
Yeah,
on time.
I get you. Mine was a mess too. So, overall, very good. I think, just to rumble off a few things here, I think your composition, way better than before. You filled the page. It's done in a way that's appealing. I think overall, like, your perspective's all over the place, but it's intended to be. Shading-wise, I mean, your mountains are cool. Coloring-wise, I think you did a really good job. I think just certain elements don't add up just right, like your tree, your like last minute things. I wish the west and the east had arrows on them, but ran out of space, I guess. Stuff like that. Nothing too bad. Overall, you gave me a price of $15. I think I'll give this about $20, so good job. You bring home the money. Combined, we make $35. So, very good. Good job.
I still don't know what composition is, but okay.
And a special thanks to Styzmask, who let me use his music as the background song of my sketch. See the video description for a link to his Patreon and his Spotify. And as always, thank you all for watching, and please let us know who you think did better this time around, me or the owl. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and maybe we can build a nice little community. See y'all next time.